when Jim did his thing, right? I bet it wasn't set up. He probably sent you over a list of crap to send him.
Yes.
You know, the material, the course was really just, I need you to get me all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
And then we're gonna look. And what he did actually, this is what Tim does, and this is why the sales cycle might actually get quite a bit shortened. Is that when Tim sat down with me and he shared with me all the deliverables, it was like, wow, you're communicating to me better about my business in numbers, percentages, and data than I've ever been able to talk and communicate myself. And what it does is it just sets up, it automatically subjugated me to his knowledge base. Instead of he can tell me that and communicate that, there's so much more, and it comes with a plan. So we'll keep refining that process, but I think what we can all agree upon is that there's some kind of money up front during evaluation period so that there's a hit for everyone participating. And then there's an onboarding system into a contract that has at least a $10,000 a month minimum, or the rev or profit share, whichever is the greater of the two. And then we've got great splits on that. We just make money moving forward. COGS are in line at 20% max, or whatever it is they're going to be. They're going to be low like that. And what you have here is a really profitable company and a really great outlet for scaling.
Yeah. And in terms of the ongoing deliverables, what do they get access to? You know, there's the calls like that. Like I'm happy to do. In a lot of cases, we're already doing them. You know, so it's just tell them we're doing this thing and combine it a little bit.
Yeah.
I think we can continue to add ongoing value in a really leveraged way.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That was a good insight on the complexity thing.
It was just a question.
I think that got us.
Can we make it simpler?
But I think it got us to a good place. So, all right.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So that's the model. And then you just have a really great database for marketing and figure out how to serve Epic scalable, all of our affiliates, all the things that are approved, and find a really cool model. Because one of the things that we've learned is once CEO boot camp is over, it then moves into an evergreen process of weekly meetings, updates, accountability, improvements. That is what removes so much of the wedge off of your quarterbacks. So your quarterbacks are almost doing more check-ins, and it's like, oh, you're working on this, let me log that in the notes. Hey, you may want to consider this or that, or talk to this person. And now instead of these really intense 90 minutes of you better know lots of stuff, it's more like coaching, as you were saying, through that continued process.
Yep.
Because now we're being proactive, which is really important to me. A good program and a raving fan program for me always comes down to how proactive you are in your outreach to someone. And there's a model here where you can all day long pay for that outreach so that they feel like, wow, the number one thing I can link to a happy consult for equity right now comes down to one person that they're assigned to reach out to that is the gateway to everything. And I would simultaneously connect it to speed of connection, same day. And feeling like I could reach out to them. They don't have some lame calendaring system where I need to book out a week or two in advance.
I got a guy. Yeah, I got a person I can text, call, whatever.
Yeah.
And what I love is now CEO Bootcamp, and that curriculum becomes delivery, not sales enablement.
I agree. Yeah.
And it can just be an amazing first experience, and now it's being sold throughout about what, getting quarterback, getting all the stuff figured out, we're going to be able to plug all of these.
Well, the other thing that you habituate them to is we'll actually probably get them a quarterback from day one, but that quarterback in the beginning is really just doing light touches. Hey, did you show up? Now they're actually, Carson, imagine if every person in CEO Bootcamp was assigned their quarterback from day one, and that person was just saying, hey, you're going to be on at noon, sweet. Hey, they're texting during the session, chatting back and forth. What do you think about that? You need this one part, pay attention to that, and it becomes very, very dynamic.
And they're incentivized to do that because they're going to get paid if the person keeps going.
Correct.
Because they get a piece of whatever the
monthly.
Yeah. They get some kind of fee.
The accountability is the secret to this entire thing, as well as then accessing the right expert at the right moment that can be there to show up for them when they need it.
Yeah. What are the quarterbacks do you think get paid each month for that per client?
If we were just to kind of whittle it down to an hourly. Roland, on your coaches, you've got people that have successfully graduated through your model. They're now, in most cases, owners instead of operators necessarily of their own businesses. And there's got to be a motivation why they like being in the coaching space. And here the motivation is easy.
They're all hoping to have deals come out of it.
Yeah, and so you'll do your 60-40 split with them. So for them, it's like, oh, I get to actually build some really cool deal flow for myself.
Yeah.
Is there a base that you pay them aside from that?
Yeah, 2,000, it's 2, 4, 6, or 8, depending on who the coach is.
A month?
Yeah.
And the number of basically
Clients?
people they have.
Do you
No,
have
we
any
don't,
idea?
it's just a base salary.
It's just a base. There's no.
2,000 a month per
Yeah.
check.
And but how much clientele can you give them?
Yeah.
Like, is there an understanding of how much bandwidth
They
you
can have a
manage?
couple hundred people because it's group calls.
Yeah.
It's one-on-one in a small group.
Carson, will you write that note down on the small group?
We do on the and I don't love this. Flat is better. Flat fee is better, but it does get alignment here. It's $200 per client per month.
Yeah, it's too much. Hate it.
Hate it. It's nice.
Ours is basically 500 a call. When you figure out the most when we're doing 4 calls.
Pay by the call.
It's easy.
It's $500 a call, no matter how many people are on it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They could have 5, they could have 100, they could have 200. It doesn't matter. They're scheduled.
Yeah.
They're scheduled. We have a block calendar.
So you pay them
They know
$500
they-
US dollars per call,
Yes.
Well,
per 1
yes.
hour.
Yes.
Okay. Carson, make a note of
They
that.
want to be engaged in those calls. So.
Yeah, of course.
So somebody that makes 2,000 a month is only doing 1 call a week.
Yeah, but they're looking for client flow. Here, they're being guaranteed
Right.
client flow. Basically, we've negotiated the deal. They are not negotiating the deal. We're just bringing them in on the deal.
Yeah.
I will say at $200 per client per month, you're still talking about 10% of what is currently estimated of the COGS. So that's not outside of the realm of possibility.
You don't. I mean, you can do that, but you don't need to.
The only reason I was thinking that is now you've got an advocate at that stage that is encouraging the person to move because they know they're going to get paid more the more people they get paid.
But they can still do that.
That's what a quarterback gets.
The one-on-ones are a nightmare to schedule. There's all kinds of logistical challenges with it. The call is super simple. It's like, here's the call. We've got one of those a week because we've got, one of those a day because we have enough coaches to do that. And then the pay for them is easy. The logistics of showing up is easy. It's just the other stuff.
I've listened to both models. Thank you. There's validity to both, and I bet there's a hybrid between the two of
No
them.
validity to his model.
But no, I actually think there is.
Zero.
Here's what you do.
Politicians placating?
You always default to the group, and then once in a while you have to step into a.
Yeah, and that's actually what we do now. So then we do pay more because if we have a lagger, then basically we'll go to one of the coaches and say, hey, this person needs some love.
Correct.
Because we'd rather not lose the.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like we're trying to encourage groups, and the moment someone falls behind, you go one-on-one,
Correct.
and that's the expectation.
We give that to the head coach. He gets paid more.
Right.
So anyone that needs a little bit more love goes to the
there's
head
a head
coach because
coach.
he gets paid more.
Yep.
Huh.
He's just the senior, he has the most experience, so he gets the best.
Sure.
But then he's incentivized for them to be successful.
Yes.
He's
And
also
that's
doing
what
the
I like
most
about
deals too
him.
because he's getting he's the most
Oh, yeah.
exposed, so he's getting the most deals.
Right.
Yeah. And then you also get to size your deal according to experience and their own personal real world, as well as. So I think it's experience and relevancy to industry.
Mm-hmm. That's a biggie.
Huge.
It's really helpful.
Oh, when you
If
have
somebody-
when you have a general contractor that has some extra bandwidth because he hired a CEO to take over his thing, and he's working 10 consult for equities, 5 of them are working together on a roll up, and he understands the in and outs of their industry.
Yeah.
He's going to be so useful. It's a nice way of saying it.
Yep.
Don't you feel better about yourself?
Yeah.
You feel included?
Yeah, let's go. I'm in, coach.
I get a discount on all this, right?
Okay.
Well, there's always a benefit to being on the jet.
Deals and you collect 50% of the.
What do y'all think of this arrangement?
I like the model. I mean, I think I would buy in.
So I know I will.
Well,
Yeah.
In
yeah,
my,
in my
in my other business.
Yeah.
So,
if it was like, hey,
Just
look,
give it over. Just give it over.
you're
Don't even.
you're
I'll
kind
have
of
to
a, you're
play.
kind of depression, you know. I wouldn't say that during
I'm
the
pissed at
summer.
both of you because you know when you consult for equities and you don't know how to deal with each other. What the heck you mean you like this? do you like them more than me?
if I had my business.
They needed Roland in the room to make a deal happen.
I'm not sure it's
Magic.
messing with you.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. For real though, feedback, like
No,
when we were
no,
listening
in
to
my ex-business, the one I would have absolutely, gone in on this very quickly. 25K for that package, it would have been a no-brainer for me.
When we were in this situation, we paid it, and those guys were like, and you know, then we're gonna try to maybe look to, you know, sell and do, like, put a book together and take it to market and do all this, and I know they would've gotten a, you know, chunk of it, and, you know, this, before we were doing this stuff for other people,
Yeah.
we were wanting people to help us do it for us.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not even that we didn't know how to do it, so we didn't have time, we're too busy running our own business.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's the strategy for acceleration is you can eventually do everything, but you'll never get around to it.
You're
So you
paying-
partner.
That's the
Go fry your fish.
The ultimate sin of entrepreneurs at scale. It's what got you here is your ability to figure everything out.
Yes.
And what will hold you back is your ability and desire to figure everything out. You value it in yourself, and it is the very trait that will stifle your efforts.